think that should be all in check. Let me check my audio mixer. Yep, it says my levels are good. And let me make sure this is playing. I'm just going to click on my audio mixer. Yep, it says my levels are good. And that. Sorry, there's like a lag. I put it on low latency, and I'm hoping that it'll help me be able to keep up if anybody actually does tune in live. But anyways, today is October 23rd, 2021. So anybody who's on the restream, watching it later on, hello from the past. How is it in the future? Chi knows that I'm getting ready to play, so she just parked herself right over here. Don't block my foot pedals from me, please. Okay? Okay. So, as it says in the description, and as I have been saying, I need to work on my originals. I have a lot of albums in progress and a lot of recordings that I'm just never happy with. Like they're good. I'm just like it could be better. So we are working first on the re-release of Or Something Like That. This is an album that I did back in 2008 in Oregon. Um, so those are the tracks. Those are original songs, and I perform these a lot whenever I do my live gigs. It's a lot of these have become, some of them are finite, like the Happy Washing Machine. It's really need to re-release it. I mean, it sounds the same, but a lot of the other ones they've changed. Like Falling Waters is a little bit longer and it has some like extended parts to it. Cold War is played a little bit differently. Caterpillar's always played differently. Al's theme is pretty finite, but I like the way it sounds on my prom burger. And then the I Love Anime and Our Wedding Song, those got flipped and are like put together into one track now. 8-Bit Hero, I've been toying with some new ways of displaying it. Oh To My Right, that's always changing. Tangent, that's always changing. Void is an improv. Vigilant has a lot more going on. A Loss of Words is a little bit better. And then Refrain is another improv. So I had to do 2 improvs and a bunch of these ones minus those. So let's take a look at my folder here. I'm gonna, boom, we're gonna go to the computer view. I guess I really don't need this open. I just need this here for the chat. That's all I need it for. So let's just shrink that down and that should help take up less RAM. There we go. And I should be able to see the chat as it comes up on my OBS. I'm going to go into my Kuya production folder and I go into the albums in progress. Here we go. And More Something Like This. That's what we're going to call the new one. Instead of Or Something Like That, it's going to be called More Something Like This. And I've already got quite a few recordings of each of these. So 8-Bit Hero is check. Level 2 is check. And level 2 sounds amazing. Let's take a look at that one. The one I did on January 31st. We want to open up the waveform. Okay. So I think if I just go, where is it? It's been a while. I think this and I drag it into there. Haha! Let's give this one a listen. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't have my audio thing on. Sorry. That was level 2. I recorded that a long time ago, January, and I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do that one tonight. But um, we're gonna do something. We gotta try. We gotta try. So I'm going to warm up with Falling Waters, the top track of the album, number 1 track. I hope I can make a good enough recording. So we'll actually name the track instead of Untitled, and we're gonna be really diligent today. Falling Waters, 10/23/2021. I always have to have posterity's sake for myself, so I remember when these recordings are, and that way I can always find the raw one because I'll know what date it is, and all the namings of the files and all the ID3 stuff. So I'm gonna hit record. Give a little moment of silence there so I can capture that noise print in case there's that, subliminal huss that I can flip and minute. Oh man, Falling Waters. This one I wrote when I was in high school, and then when I graduated in the year of 2000, and I found myself on the streets, found my mom, and she was going to Oregon, so I went with her, and I experienced rain, like gentle rain, not horrible Arizona monsoon rain, and what used to be kind of became more of a so gotta crack them knuckles, they feel really stiff. All right, here we go. We are recording Falling Waters, an original composition that I wrote, oh gosh, 1995, 1996. Sounds like middle school moving into, because it was 8th grade. Mr. Hewins was watching me play songs in that song. And I was like, he's like, dude, you're doing chord inversions. I was like, what? And he educated me about terminology. Before then, I was pretty much raw, just going with it. And I'm still that way. I have to really think about what I'm doing to know what I'm doing after I do it. It's weird. But anyways, Falling Waters. I hope you enjoy this, and maybe this take will be good enough to use on the actual album. That was Falling Waters. Let's go live here and check out the audio and see how that's looking here. Let me turn this on. Alright, I really did turn those mic levels down a lot, didn't I? Let's see if I hit, what is it, Alt-I? There we go. Alright, so I'm just playing really soft. So I always try and like hit it as loud as I possibly can, so that way I don't peak, and then I forget there are a lot of songs that I play very gently, and they, oh man, Falling Waters. Where's that dead space? So there. So there's that little hum, you know, from, you can hear it right there. I can hear it at least, and you can kind of see it. So if I were to zoom in on this, back in the day, you had to record like a whole session, but I'm just gonna, yep. If I hit Shift P, that'll capture that noise print. Control A selects the entire sound print now. I'm gonna hit Control Shift P, and it's going to cancel out that noise. So it should be a lot cleaner. Yep, that sounds good. So Control Shift S. I want to record this or save this with. Wait. Before I do that, let me hit Control Z. Yeah, we want to keep the raw just in case. So Control Shift S. Now we'll save that. And this is so Falling Waters 1023. Yes. Now what happens is if I hit redo, let's redo that noise reduction. Now I have permission from the audio gods up above to normalize the audio and make sure each level peaks just below 0. So I set they say though the rule of -1 dB, but I'm doing piano and I experimented to -0.43 dB. That's right at the cusp. It helps bring those soft stops a lot better. So this is where it actually starts. I always have to have a nice long space there, so I'll delete that, and then Control Shift S, and quickly put this into the albums in progress, or something like this. Falling Waters, 1023. Edit start, so I know that I started editing it. Save. See, I'm being productive today. Now, later tonight or tomorrow, I will actually go through these, do the ID3s, cut it off where it's supposed to fade out properly, and make sure things are a little bit more balanced between the left and right channels, because I forgot I maybe should have normalized it after cutting out that beginning part. But it's a softer song and I want it to be a little bit lower. This will probably work. So I hit Control W and that closes. Control Shift N starts a new file. Shift Space starts the recording. I'm going to bring that down. Moment of silence. Okay. So that was Falling Waters. I'm going to move on now to a song that I call Ode to My Right. I need to get a good recording of that one. This is one that I wrote. It's so funny. I wrote it a long time ago. This is circa 2008, and I kind of wrote it as a joke, because I'm always like, holding. I'm more than 2 years sober now. Okay, and whoop, back then I was quite a drinker. Okay, and I would always joke I should make a song that I just play on my right hand because I'm a lefty and I hold my drink in my left, so I can just like drink my martini and play. It was as like a joke. And then I get into a car accident last year, and I was afraid that I might not be able to use my left arm again. But once that radial notch got back in place, oh, I was like, yeah, I can use my left hand. Like it was like a miracle. So, anywho's, this song is just to be played on the right hand. So that's why I wrote it. But you never know. Something might happen. You might lose a hand or capability. So I always make sure I can play one-handed, left or right, but right hand because it's my weak hand. And it usually does melody and not chords. And writing that song helped my right hand be able to do more chords like my left hand does. Oh man, that was like such a long, long time ago. To think about the piano player I used to be versus the piano player that I am today. And mentally, I still think that I suck. I still do suck, but I'm getting better. Practice makes perfect. Anyways, hopefully this doesn't suck. This is called Ode to My Right, and it's to be played with simply the right hand. Here we go.
Oh, it's different. All right, it's been a while. Take two.
So that was ode to my right. Again, I'm playing really soft because I'm so paranoid that I'm gonna peak. And it might be really quiet to you guys. I don't know what the levels are like for you guys, but I'm just really paranoid about peaking. I want these to come out good. I can always bring it up, but once you hit that, you can't really, fix it. And I have one a lot lower than the other as like a fail safe. And I really don't like to do that because then you have to double up that channel. Then it sounds like a flat mono and it's weird. And then you have to start playing with like the fake reverb. And I used a thickener one, but I always feel like it's just too heavy. So every time I've been experimenting with if I have to go mono channel, which there are some recordings of like Creep and my Bohemian Rhapsody I've been trying to get a good recording of, so I can use the audio for my videos. It's the peaks. Oh my goodness. Oh, don't even get me started. But these are looking good. These are looking good. Let's take a look. Wait. Always save it first before I start doing any kind of playing around with it. So this is ode to my right. Wait, this is supposed to be in the actual recording folder. Wait, no, not the pictures, the recording sessions. October 2021. Today is the 23rd. Here we go. Ode to my right. 10/23, 2021. Save. There we go. So let that go. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Now we can take a look at things. Yep, there is that little and that rumble. So let's it's a little more pronounced that time, isn't it? So I hit Shift P, captures the noise print, Control A, Control A, Control Shift P, blammo.
Okay.
Now it's all clean. Perfect. Now we can normalize this one. And then we can normalize this one. And now it should sound nice.
Shifts.
You have no idea how happy I am that I can do this now the way that I'm doing it. Before June, the one that we were listening to earlier in the start of the session, that was recorded on this guy here. And I had to like import it all like through the computer from the SD card. And the recordings, I always have to play with the equalizers because it doesn't quite sound right. Like I was putting it like right on the piano. But with this ribbon mic, in where it's at, it picks up the ambience of the room, and then the other microphone is right up there at the piano. It's a Sennheiser C290 or 209, E209. It's meant for putting right on an amplifier at live performances so you can record just like, the raw guitar coming out of the amp. And its pickup pattern is very, it's not very far. And it's kind of like up and down like this. So I use that one right up on the piano. And that's on the right channel. The one on the left channel is the ribbon mic. And together, it sounds good. Like, yeah, I'm going to be able to use these. I think this might be the take. So let's make sure we put this into the album in progress. Let me make sure you guys are still with me. Okay, I didn't mute my. I always want to make sure I don't mute my speaker because sometimes people are like, we can't hear you because I accidentally hit the hotkey to mute. We're gonna quickly put this into the albums in progress. More something like this. Do I have Oh to My Right? Yeah, I have one recording of it in December when. Wow. Okay. Now we have one from October today that may be usable. So Control W closes that. Control Shift New folder. I think we're making some progress, guys. Now let's see. Let's do I don't want to take up too much of time, and it's already 8:30. And I am taking breaks and standing up and not playing for too long, so I'm feeling good. But I was practicing earlier today across many different platforms and just practicing intermittently. So we're gonna go vigilant. We're gonna go balls to the wall. This is a very long, epic song. I call it the story of my life because it is a constant work in progress, and I'm always adding more, embellishing more, changing things up as my life goes on. And it's going to be my forever work in progress because eventually I would like it to be a like 1 hour long, just like epic piano masterpiece. I think the best recording I have of as long as far as long distance goes, because I was just like feeling it and just seeing like let's just see how long I can play, before I just lose it and then I just have to like finish. And I think that was like 18 or 19 minutes. It's on Patreon somewhere. I'll have to find it and I might release that as just a single on my website. But one of these days I do want it to be a super long epic masterpiece. But for now, we're just going to play with it and see what comes of it, where it goes, and how good. Um, yeah. So it looks like Paul is with me. I'm sorry, I'm just now seeing your comments here. Yes. Oh, the lessons learned from college, like before you do anything, save just the raw, raw, raw. And I have all those files backed up and on my portable hard drive, and soon I'm going to burn like actual physical DVD data discs with all the raw stuff. But we are going to do Vigilant, and I'm going to have to take a moment to breathe. And well, wait, I need to take a reminder to everybody right now because I just looked at the clock again and I saw it's been half an hour since I started this live stream. And I did not take a sip of water since I've started. So let's all take a break and have some water. Um, it's very important to stay hydrated, everybody. Stay hydrated. Now, this song, Vigilant, it's very intense, okay? And I'm going to apologize in advance because the way that it starts out, it has that low E minor, A minor. It's supposed to represent thunder and lightning, okay? And I'm very open about my CPTSD and my mental health, and I can get manic and depressed and like outrageously angry and just emotional and just crazy. I used to be on the Zoloft. I got myself off of it. I'm still have to take Ativan every now and then, but I am seeking therapy again. I finally found a therapist, and we're doing EMDR. We're getting things done again from where my therapist left off when she retired before the pandemic, and it became impossible to find a therapist during the pandemic. So, a reminder to everybody: mental health matters. Mental health is very important, and piano is very much a coping mechanism and something that I use to express that which cannot be said. And this song is going to get really like, which is another reason why I turned the levels down for the recordings. And I don't know if that's affecting the live streams. So for the live stream, I actually turned it up to like 120% on the audio levels to compensate for the level downage that I did for the recordings in Audition because I really don't want these to be.
That was in the yellow, and I think that's about as loud as it's going to get, but you never know in the moment. Sometimes I can get really loud. So I'm going to, like I said,
I am apologizing in advance for the abruptness and the levels of this song because the nature of it and what it represents as the life cycle of me, Matthew Rivera. So you've been warned to turn down your levels a bit when I start this recording. So I'm going to breathe, get myself into that zone, and we're going to try and get a valid recording of Vigilant to use for the More Something Like That album, which I hope to get done before the end of the year, if not early next year. But at the very least, I'm going to get an EP done with a few choice tracks. It might just be Vigilant. We'll see. We'll see. Okay. Barks. Rah, 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 rah. I can probably, that was right at the end there. I knew she was going to do that. So I was like, wrap it up, wrap it up. Oh, yes. So, whew. Thank you, thank you. Whoa. I am going to go to intermission mode here for a moment, stand up and stretch and stop this recording. I will be back in a few minutes after I get myself, but thank you for listening. I'm glad that I have an audience, and thank you for loving this so much. I will process these audios and drop them on Patreon, and then eventually I'll pick some to put for sale on the websites. But yeah, we're doing a good job with some recordings here, guys. I will be back in a few. Okay, we are back. Thank you for putting up with that brief break while we do these recording sessions. it's almost 9 o'clock. So I guess I talk a lot, and I know that Vigilant was a pretty long recording. Where did we end up on that? Boom, boom, boom. It says 18 minutes and 36 seconds, but that's not including that beginning stuff. So it's probably like a 15-minute take. Yeah, I'd say probably a 15-minute take. We'll see what happens after I cut out that beginning stuff and the ending. Oh, Chi-Chi, what am I gonna do with you? It's okay. We're gonna do one more song, and then I'm gonna call it a session. And I will probably be back with an insomniac session. I did sleep in this morning, and it is my week off from work and all that kind of stuff. So it's not a big deal if I'm up in the wee hours of the night. That's when I do my best recordings, and that's when it's super quiet. Everybody's asleep. The neighborhood's not making too much noise, and I can get my, most of my good recordings come from the middle of the night, anyways. But I chose Saturdays at 8 o'clock because I figured that's a late enough time, that people start turning, especially now that it's getting dark out earlier, and now the piano is also closed. That could also be another reason why it's a lot more softer and quiet. But we're going to do something different now. I've done enough work on this more something like this album. Let me just quickly Control Shift save this into the recording sessions, October 23rd, 2021. Vigilant. It's already named. Man, we're doing good today. I feel like I'm productive. Woohoo! Okay, so we are going to close that file. And here we go. This is a song that just came to me not too long ago. I already posted 2 takes on Patreon for my big, excited, and super fans because it was just like this idea came to me and I was like, hey, hit record. Let me tinker this out. And I did 2 takes on it. I'm a little bit more comfortable with it that I think I can make a good enough recording and I can actually drop like a song on Patreon and eventually a single on the website. Again, these songs don't have names. They're just free writes on whatever date or just idea for a song. But when I decide to release it, I listen to it on repeat and just think about the visuals that come to mind and try and give my songs a name. Sometimes I'll listen to what people say and they're like, oh, this song reminds me of this. And I'll collectively listen to all the feedback and decide what the song represents and what it should be named. Naming a song is hard. Maybe I'll name it after another bug. Who knows? But this one is in the key of C. And we'll see if I can get something that's usable here. Control Shift New, Enter, Shift Space. Oh, you're doing that zoomy zoom thing there. There we go. We're going to take a moment of silence to get that like noise track. Then I'm going to play a song that I hope is pretty and that I hope is worthy of being posted and being called something. Music, God, smile down on me in the key of C. Oh, complete with the sounds of Chi Chi clippity clipper claps. There's a lot of recordings where she's like clip, 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 and they're in the end there, but whatever. If you listen really closely, you can hear the Chi Chi claps. So thank you so much for tuning in. It's 9 o'clock now. I've been live streaming for an hour, so I'm gonna call that a session. We did some good recordings. I think some of these are going to be usable, and I cannot thank my patrons enough. Tom, thank you for listening. You've been a patron for a very long time, and I know you really like the music, and I hope you enjoy the In the Moment album. I've been meaning to get that to you for the longest time, and I'm so glad I got to see you in person to hand that off to you. It means the world to me that you're a supporter, and your feedback means a lot to me, Tom. You're like my brother. So, again, all my patrons, thank you. It has been a crazy 11 months where we have come, and I'm on my 12th month. November 21st is a month away, and I still haven't dropped my 260th. It's probably going to be this Vigilant take, or maybe even this one. I have to figure out. Oh, there will be an Insomniac session, all for sure. I'll probably go live on Twitch later tonight and just play away. We'll see, but um, I just got to make decisions. I have so many recordings that I can just be like, but I don't know why numbers mean so much. I didn't do anything special for 250. Why is 260 suddenly important to me? I don't know. But to think that I used to be recording on this Tascam DR40 and had to like do so much dehissing, so much like equalizer band checks, um, and having to record from the SD card and then move it into that old laptop, and like it took forever to process anything because that laptop could not handle it. But now I have a good computer and a direct input to put my microphones into, and I got better cables that don't have a, they're actually a lot more quiet. All I have to do is get rid of that ambient room tone that you hear, and the recordings have been amazing since June. And even better now with all the experimentations, it's like, oh, every day is a science experiment with audio for me, and I'm never satisfied. I'm like, it could be better, it could be better, it could be better, and it is. When I go back and I look at my very first recordings on Patreon and I look at my very first videos, oh my gosh, those are something to laugh at. Like, oh my gosh, like, and now it's expedited. All I have to do is just hit record on the computer, play, and then when I'm done, I just normalize my audio and cut off the beginning and fade out the end where it should be, enter my ID3s, and the process is a lot more expedited and a lot more simpler. I love it. But now the next step is working on playing with multi-tracks and vocals. And I did set up my keyboard now, and I installed traction waveform so I can utilize all four tracks. That way, Audition will use inputs 1 and 2, which are this microphone and that microphone, and then traction waveform is handling inputs 3 and 4, which is the ukulele and the keyboard. And then eventually I'm going to start doing multi-track sessions to try and mix my ukulele with my piano, with my percussion, with some keyboard sound effects, and make some really crazy stuff. But that's long-term stuff. Right now, I'm still focusing on my piano works and all those unfinished business. That's going to be the title of another one of the albums. That's what this one is going to go on. It's going to be called Unfinished Business. All those songs in progress that I just have to finish. The new stuff that needs to be done, that'll be on a new album called Unfinished Business. Then we have the album, more something like that. Then I have the new Free Rights album, the next In the Moment that I want to compile. The Insomniac sessions, I need to go through and make like an Insomniac sessions album. And then I need to do my Friends in RPG work. And I also have the keyboard funsies when I'm doing all the sound. So many works in progress, so many albums in progress. I'm an ENFP, and I have all this unfinished business. And I'm going to take this week to try and finish as much of that unfinished business as possible, because I'm going to turn 40. The big four, oh no. Or the big four, oh yeah. Oh yeah. But yes, Thank you. Thank you so much. I don't know what the lag is on this, so I'm going to go to the break screen and play some music and then fade it out and end the live stream. Thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe, share, maybe even consider becoming a live stream supporter on Patreon, or at least download the app and get a look at some of the public Patreon exclusive posts that I have. I do have like 3 digital downloads that are public and some exclusive live streams, like behind the scenes footage things to give people an idea. It's been a crazy journey, and I could not have done it without the support of all my patrons, without the support of all my friends and family who've been basically pushing me to keep doing what I do before I even started doing this stuff on Patreon and try and be a serious musician. I was just a local, yachts, just playing at open mics, playing in little cafes, playing in wineries, and now I'm like, I'm gonna make albums and I'm gonna be on the public domain and I'm gonna be on Patreon and try and make money with my music. And then now that I have like videos and stuff to show for, the next step is to offer my services on Fiverr for people to contract me to do music for their movies, videos, to do studio work and add piano to maybe their band's album. I've done some studio work in the past, but now I can really do some studio work. And that's like the next step. After year one on Patreon, I have developed myself and now I have something to show for. And we're getting ready to just like be Matthew Rivera, musician professional. So you guys have a wonderful night. I will see you around.